All right, guys. My name is Alberto, aka Destroyer 48. If you're here for the Running Man 2025 review, you're in the right place. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and comment, and blah blah blah. Who cares if the world is stands for forget the world and all the corruption in it. What I'm gonna try not to do is there is the original Running Man was in 1987, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm not trying not to compare that original Running Man with this current reboot 2025 Running Man. Now, the way this works is I'm gonna say a summary about the movie somewhat, and then after that, I'm gonna talk about maybe extra scenes, or I will emphasize scenes that I think it's important or I like and stuff. So let's get started with our movie review of The Running Man 2025. So let's begin, shall we? So we got this guy named Ben Richards, lives in the city. He lives in an apartment, of course, with his wife and his baby. His baby's sick. They're broke. He's lost his job. Matter of fact, in the beginning, they show that he goes back into his job, and it turns out that he was trying to defend his workers. Something about maybe he was trying to protect them. Like it was not a good work environment, and that's why he lost his job. He's going back to ask for his job, and the guy there at work says no, they're not gonna give him another chance. And he has his baby with him. He goes back to his apartment. He has a wife. He has his baby back in the apartment, and they need money to pay for the baby's meds because the baby's sick. So he's desperate. They're desperate for money, and he doesn't want to say it right away, but there is a chance he's gonna. They're looking for options to get money, and they already want to exclude the Running Man because they know the Running Man people die on that show. It's a show called The Running Man. Because it has hunters and all this stuff. It's a game show that's dangerous that kill people. Um, so they're trying to exclude that out. His wife doesn't want him to get hurt, but Ben Richards is gonna go down there anyways and see if he can. Actually, he's gonna see if he can compete in another show because they have other dangerous shows that you get hurt, but I think Running Man's the most dangerous. So he's gonna go ahead and apply to see if he can get in the Running Man. He talks to management and all that. It looks like they're gonna accept him. Um, he goes in training, not training, but they test him his physical. They test everybody. They have like in the building, they have training facilities like real realistic. They have water that gets flooded. They have a place where a cliff where you can fall. I don't know how they have it inside of a building. And at one point, he's hanging off that cliff and he catches another guy falling down. Okay, so Ben Richards supposedly he's a really good athlete, and then he talked to the main cheese, the owner of the Running Man. His name is Dan Killian, and Killian talks to him and they just start negotiating and they just start talking about it. But they know that Ben Richards has a heart for this. So it is now said that Ben is gonna go with two other contestants. One's a female that's his neighbor. She's like, "Hi, neighbor," earlier in the film, and this other young guy. Now that girl, it's actually not a girl. She's like a lady. She looks like she's in her 40s or something. And the other guy's a young guy. So the show's gonna start the Running Man, and there's a lot of rules in it. But basically, what you gotta do is the main thing is survive, and then you gotta put videotapes and a cash and a and what do you call it? They're like videotapes, um, where you have to put them in like post boxes, like the ones you for the mail. Um, and everything's in this show is just you trying to survive. They're gonna have hunters come try to get you, try to get kill you actually, and you're gonna, as we're gonna see, you can run around town. I think almost anywhere. So that's the best part of this movie is where they actually have the show. They have a host. He comes out somewhere. I haven't seen him. I don't remember where I seen him. He he's a good host. It's not Dan Killian. It's another guy. And the host speaks very well. He's very entertaining. The crowd is cheering. To me, that's like one of the best parts in the film. So they're gonna send him out, and you're gonna start running out in the city. They're not gonna be together. They're all gonna go their separate ways. Once the game starts, Ben Richards is gonna start off in disguises, and he's going to he's gonna get like rooms. He's gonna stay in the rooms. Oh, how exciting! And they have cameras everywhere to see for the fans what's going on. Remember, they have to survive as long as they can. I think it's like 30 days. Give me a break. I've only seen this film once. I saw it today actually, or yesterday. And so he's hiding out till he knows they're catching up to him, and then he goes into some building. Hunters are after him, and the building explodes. And the building had 700s looking for him, so they're already dead. And there are seven main hunters, and they show them in the beginning too. But here they kill like extra hunters or something. And exploding building that Ben Richards has exploded. Um, you're gonna have the younger guy contested. They're gonna catch him and on the street. They they shoot him in the head. So there's only two contestants left. Now Ben Richards is on the street. Some little boy in the street says that he can help Ben, and then he calls his bigger brother, and it looks like Ben doesn't have a choice. It's kind of startled from the explosion and stuff, maybe a little hurt. And the little boy and his big bro uh, take him to their apartment, another apartment, where they have their mom, and they're watching TV, and it is nice. Ben is actually, I think they have a baby too, and another like Ben, they gave Ben money, I guess, for playing and like start off money, and Ben's gonna give the mom money for medication for the baby. Another baby story. It turns out they're watching TV in the apartment, all of them, and it shows Ben that he's talking and he's saying bad things about people, and Ben says, and the mom says, get out of here now, telling Ben to leave, in danger for her family. And Ben's like, I never said that. So since the mom wants him to leave because she thinks he's gonna put them in danger, Ben leaves with the little brother and the big brother. They take him outside in an alley and they put him in the trunk and they take off in the car. Whoops. They take off in the car, and it turns out Ben is hearing everything, and he hears that they're saying, "Hey, we're being followed," and they are being followed by two motorcycles, two hunters. Um, so this is one of the car chases that's pretty exciting. They're driving, and the motorcycles are shooting at Ben and the car, and Ben actually sees a bullet hole. So misfire, and he sees a hole in the trunk. At that time, and then so they're driving, and the funny part is he hears a little bro and the big bro talking about, hey, we need to avoid these guys. Uh, I think they shot the trunk. The motorcycle guys, they shot the trunk, and then the trunk goes up for some reason. I guess because they shot it. And then Ben takes out a crossbow, tire iron, the X one, which I haven't seen in a long time. He throws that tire iron, crossbow tire iron at one of the motorcyclists, knocking him down. Yeah, I'm thinking about shooting a motorcycle back there. Probably gonna miss. I might hit a little bit. And then you have the other cycle guy going after him, and they take him out. The big brother, they stop and drop off Ben Richards somewhere, and the big bro says, "Go to this guy, this other house, this other location. They'll go take care of you there." And it turns out the other girl, there's only two contestants, right? Ben Richards and the other girl. They have now shown they killed her. She was hiding out at a casino place where they gamble. She took off in the car, and it's funny because they put her she's going fast, stops the brakes, and says, "Okay, hi, later, suckers," or something else. And then they go, "No, that's not what really happened." And they show footage of her that she's being killed by flamethrowers, and it turns out two little boys have killed out the other contestant, female with flamethrowers. It's funny they show the two little boys with, I don't know, either Holst or Killian. That was funny. They're like two little fat little chubby little boys, probably like 10 or 11. They had flamethrowers. Okay. And now we get back to, so Ben is the only survivor contestant left. Ben goes to the address. It's a house. There's a crazy lady there, old lady there, and she has a son. This guy's probably like in his 30s or 40s. And he seems like he knows everything about the Running Man. He's prepared. He's tells Ben Richards, this guy tells him, "Don't worry, everything's gonna be fine." Well, it gets to a point where there's confusion in the house. The lady gets startled, and she wants to punch some button that will call the cops so they can report. Oh yeah, by the way, civilians can report. Any civilian can report the contestants and the runners to Killian and the show to come get them, to send hunters over there. The lady she gets startled, and she wants to hit some button on the wall, call the authorities. She's about to hit it. Oh, before that, this guy was showing that he was all prepared for the Running Man case. He came looking for Ben Richards. He had traps and all this stuff. Cameras, everything to defend. For some reason, the guy ends up hitting the button. And Ben Richards is like, "What are you doing?" And then somebody comes out on the intercom when they press the button. Do you need the police? What do you want to report? Something like that. and the hunters are on their way to the house. And it turns out that this guy, he's like prepared for them, and I think he just wants to he wants to participate and help Ben Richards in the thrill of it. That's what it looks like to me. And sure enough, the hunters come, they enter the house, and at every turn, this guy with Ben has them fooled. He has traps set up for them, everything. And it's funny because when they're tracking Ben Richards, sometimes the hunters are not there, but they have like this little ball. Kind of reminds me, and they hover in the air, and they have cameras in it. Um, and they're everywhere. So, anyways, the hunters are at the house. This guy has them fooled at every turn. Has, I don't know, guns shooting at them, more traps for them, everything. And then they're gonna to get out of Ben is like, how are we gonna get out of the house? The hunters everywhere. He's like, don't worry, of course he has a tunnel under the house. But they're meant by a hunter, and they are able to, he actually gets the guy, but they evade him. They are able to kill him, and they take off. And at one point, um, sometimes Killian will let Ben escape, just if he thinks that it's in the best interest to get more ratings. They will let Ben live, and they'll actually get him away. I think in this case, uh, Killian is able to contact Ben. I think through one of those balls things that are hovering in the air for the game show. And I know it sounds funny, but and Killian's like, I'll give you a chance, and at one point Killian's says Ben is good at this, and he's gonna offer him his new show. I think it's Hunter Six called. They're offering Ben a job because he's good at this, and well, anyways, they kill that hunter, and then they continue down the tunnel, and then it leads them to like an ATV, like kind of like that one, but it has like bars or something. And now Ben and this guy, they're on that ATV, and they're going down the woods. This place was in the woods, and a helicopter is now pursuing them, and the helicopter starts shooting at him and kills the other guy, and Ben is by himself. But Ben escapes, and I forgot. Helicopter was shooting and killed that other guy, and Ben evades and escapes in the ATV. Later on, Ben is able to reach the expressway, and he stops a motorist. It's a female. She's singing to the song Americanas or something. Americanas, they will show here, not here, but like before, that it's a show about, it's kind of like dating housewives, or we call it Housewives of Atlanta or whatever. So anyways, Ben is able to get in front of this vehicle, stop it, and the girl's there, and then Ben forces his way into the passenger seat. He has a gun, like this one, and he tells her to drive. So Ben has now kidnapped a female, and he tells her to drive her vehicle, and they take off. They're gonna try to make it to Canada. When they do make it to Canada, there's actually police blockade, I think, going to Canada, like at the border. They're actually gonna let Ben go through, and he knows this. He goes, because Ben is learning. He goes, they're gonna let us go through. Just keep going, and they do let him go. It's because the thing is, they just don't want to kill Ben if they have to. They want to kill him live so everybody could see him. So I guess there's certain areas where you're safe. So they let Ben go through, and they're going to reach. They're gonna get like to an airport or something or an airfield, and there's gonna be a stealth bomber. No, I'm gonna stop it there because I promise no spoiler alert in ending. So I'm leaving the scene for you guys. You want to see it. All right, so let's talk about the movie extra scenes if I remember any extra parts I want to emphasize. So this is a part I really want to say is that they have rules for the running man, but to Dan Killian, or the show, they these rules are flexible and not fair. They will bend the rules to Dan Killian's will, and it's all about money and power, ratings, money and power. Well, the ratings bring in the money, and it's gonna start talking about. It's kind of like now. It's like the show has a lot of power, has government power, and the point is they want everybody to stay stupid. They want them to like the running man and not think for themselves. But it looks like because people are watching Ben Richards, the people are like, "Hey, this guy, he's our hero, and we're tired of the government being mean to us and them having all the money, the show having all the money, and we don't have anything." And so the people, there's righteous people. There's not everybody. In this film, it's like everybody watches a show, and a lot of them about they'll rat you out if they find you, like if they find Ben, they're gonna rat you out and kill you. But not all of them are like that. Just like the big bro and the little bro, they're righteous people. They're smart enough to know that money's not everything. And at one point, Ben is like, "Why don't you want to kill me?" And because supposedly there's a reward. And he goes, "No, the government will just lie. They will just they will make up any lie to kill us, so they won't pay us." So that's like the main thing. Like I said it before, my best part is when the show actually comes on and the host comes out, starts talking, fans are cheering. That's the most exciting part. I was not too thrilled about them running around in the city for a game show for everybody to rat them out. I don't know. I just didn't like that. Again, that's me going to compare this Running Man with the other one, which I'll do in another video, like I said. The chase scenes are really good. The helicopter looks more like a hovercraft, or the ones we buy, the drones we buy with four wings. The helicopter looks like that. I thought that was pretty cool. When Ben was in the car with the two brothers, when he threw the crossbow tire at the motorcycle, that was pretty cool. Again, when in training, in the building, I don't know how, they had like a big cliff, I don't know, and you could fall into like lava, and it's like real big and everything. When he grabs the other guy from falling, the other guy fell, and Ben says something. It was a guy contestant that was gonna be the future contestant, the one I said they shot in the head. That guy saved him. That was pretty cool. I think in that training place there was there showed like an area being flooded, and they had to survive that. The guy and the old lady in the house that were harboring Ben for a little bit till they call the cops on him, but it turns out the guy, in a way, it looked like he was ratting out Ben, but in a way he wasn't, because he wanted the thrill of the chase. He actually wanted to participate and get in the show, which is not fair to Ben because he's putting Ben's life at risk. I mean, that guy, it's his own life, but he's putting Ben's life at risk. I found it interesting that Dan Killian would say, "Hey, I'll let you kill this hunter killer and yeah, just so he could stay longer because we need more ratings, something like that. He did that within that lines. It was best for the show for more ratings. That was interesting. The story about, I'm biased here, but because I don't have any children, but the story about Ben Richards goes through the Running Man to to get money for supplies for the baby. It's your typical. You're gonna say my daughter. I'm gonna say my daughter, son, story, which happens a lot. That is very old fashioned. I expect movies to come up with better stories than that. It's just been played way too many times. My daughter, my son, is all the time. Come up with another plot. Come up with something new. Too many times. Um, the effects are good. Special effects. Oh yeah, I forgot this part. There's that scene when, remember when I said Ben Richards kidnapped that woman in the car and they're driving. Local police stop them and they pull them over and they the cops are actually gonna kill both of them, or at least Ben Richards. And then a little bullets are they fly in the air and stuff. Like they're like from Phantasm. They have guns in them. Those bullets have guns in them and kill the cops. So they can let Richards. They want Richards to continue with the game, the contest. Um, and that's all I can think of really. Of course, there's more. Just but yeah, the if anything, the movie has a good. It has a good message. It's like just like today, we feel like the government's because here the government and the show are working together. So it just shows corruption, power, and they want people to rise up against the government and think for themselves and make this world a better place and not just have it be run by corruption and power by the and money by the government and the show. Dan Killian is good. He's cool. The running guy, Ben Richards is cool. I don't know. It's a decent movie. To tell you the truth, I was since I'm older and I have to be biased where I really don't have that much of a heart. You know, I'm not even fond of my family. I don't even like anything because of my issues, depression and stuff. And I've seen way too many movies, so it didn't impress me all that much. And also, I'm comparing it to the first one, which I promised I wouldn't do that, but I don't know. Um, I was just not. I mean, there's some parts in that were good, but let me grade this movie before I forget. I'm gonna give it. And I'm being strict with this grade. I'm gonna give it. I don't know, either a B minus or a C plus. I'm gonna give it a C plus. I was uh, I don't know. I would either give it a B minus or a C plus. I'm debating which one to go because in a way it disappointed me, but in a way that I think the best part, like I say, is the show when the host comes out and all that, and the big fans, it gets your pump riled up. But then when it started that they were going in the city and he was gonna hiding out in the hotel. I mean that's what makes me yawn. He was hiding in the hotel. That's not exciting. But I did like the message. I have to. It's either B minus or C plus. I gotta get some kahunas, some balls, and rate it. So I'm gonna go with a C plus because it just it could have gone either way, but I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna be strict on it. Um, I'm not gonna compare, but what I say is I did like the first Running Man a lot. That's why. So I have to be biased. That's all I can think of. There's more parts that are pretty good, but oh yeah, the one they did lie to Ben Richards, and I remember this. They had said like you better do what we say, or no, actually they told him. Somebody told him. I think it was Dan Killian. They go, "We killed your wife and your daughter," and he starts crying and stuff, of course. And then later on, it's her. Well, yeah, they did tell him they killed his wife and daughter. Starts crying. So I didn't do no spoiler ending, so there you have it. So that's all I can really think of. Again, give me a break. I only saw it like yesterday. So don't forget to subscribe, like, and share if you like my videos. And I hope you enjoyed the review. Yeah, it'll be a little slow. It is late right now, but I want to get this done tonight for you guys. So I'm gonna leave you with this before I go. The world will never be a perfect place, but we can all make it better. Till next time, my name is Alberto, aka Destroyer48, and this concludes my review of the reboot of Running Man 2025. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Later. Bye. Take care. Have a good day.